Do you ever feel like you're constantly spinning your wheels but never really getting anywhere? In today's episode, we're diving into 3 surprising factors that might be keeping you stuck in an unproductive cycle. We'll be uncovering small changes that make a huge difference. So are you ready to finally feel productive and in control? Let's get started. Are you an overwhelmed stay-at-home mom struggling to keep your home organized and cozy while balancing endless tasks? Do you feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough? Are you constantly comparing your life and home to others on social media? If you're feeling lost in your role as a homemaker and mother, you're not alone. Welcome to Modern Homemaker Mom, the podcast that provides simple homemaking strategies rooted in biblical principles. Each episode offers real-life solutions to help you confidently create a peaceful, inviting home. From managing your time and priorities to decluttering, organizing, and building healthy habits, you'll learn how to organize your home and life with purpose. I'm Janae Schmid, a wife, mom, and homemaker just like you. I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed by the daily demands of running a household while trying to nurture your family and maintain a sense of peace in your home. Through my own journey of learning homemaking skills and living out my calling as a wife and mother, I have found freedom in embracing these roles with joy. Now I'm here to help other stay-at-home moms do the same without the stress. It's time to confidently step into your calling and create a home that reflects God's love. Let's build a home that you and your family love, one step at a time. Where are my list makers out there? I know you're out there. I am a list maker through and through. Every single day, I'm making some sort of list of some sort, but I have been guilty of making those mile-long to-do lists that are so overwhelming, you don't even know where to start. Do you relate with me on this? Those to-do lists or days where you feel like you have so much that you want to accomplish and there's so much on your plate that it's overwhelming and you're like, I just want to curl up into a ball and hide from it all. I've even found myself procrastinating because I just don't even want to dive into the work. One day this summer, I had a huge to-do list. It was so long, it filled the entire page of the journal that I had. I remember my husband saw it the night before because I usually make to-do lists the night before for my next day so that when I wake up, I know where to start. My husband saw the to-do list and he just shook his head because he knows me so well. He's like, yep, she's going to overwhelm herself. And I did. We had guests coming that day, so I had a deadline for when these chores needed to be done. And instead of just getting right into it, I was so overwhelmed by this list. I went outside to my garden, my raised garden beds, and I picked flowers. I remember texting my mom and telling her, yeah, I have a mile-long to-do list right now, but I'm outside sitting in the sun picking flowers. Like, wow. Do you ever feel this way, friend? Another thing that I'm super famous for is what I like to call squirreling. So for example, I will go to take out the garbage and I'll remember, oh, I need to go to the nursery and grab the garbage can in there because it's full of dirty diapers. So I'll go to the nursery and then I'll see dirty laundry on the floor. And I'll be like, okay, I'm going to pick up that laundry and put in the basket. Actually, this basket's looking kind of full. Maybe we'll take it to the laundry room and just toss a load in. It'll be really quick. So I do that. I go to the laundry room, and in the laundry room, there's like a bunch of clutter and things that don't belong. So I'm like, okay, these things need to go into their homes. So I pick up these things, I'm putting them in their homes. Meanwhile, I have totally forgotten the whole point of what I was doing, which was take out the garbage. So the garbage can was left in the nursery, and the kitchen garbage can now has no garbage bag in it. So it's just, I could go on and on about it. I get so bad that it will literally consume like 20 minutes of my time, and it is so counterproductive. I'm sure there's many of you out there who have struggled with the same thing or know what I'm talking about. So that's why today we're going to be diving into 3 reasons why that you may be feeling overwhelmed and little simple solutions that I'm going to teach you how we can fix that to make a change so that we're not feeling this way. So diving right in, reason number 1 is you're not delegating tasks. There's this myth out there of having to, quote unquote, do it all. But by spreading things out and delegating, that doesn't make us a failure. So what I used to do was on Fridays, it was my big cleaning day, and I would tackle so much of the house chores all in one day. I mean, I clean my house every single day. I have a little bit of a routine and rhythm that I do. But on Fridays, I did my deep cleaning. So that's my mopping and doing the things that I didn't do like every single day. But I was finding that I was just getting overwhelmed by it. It was just too much, and I started dreading Fridays, and I don't want to have that feeling of, oh, dread. So what I decided to do, and what I have been doing for a couple months now, and I've been really enjoying it, is I delegate my tasks. So what that looks like is, for example, every Thursday I take out the garbages and I clean the bathrooms. I know every Thursday that's what is expected. Those are chores that were assigned to that day. On Fridays and Tuesdays, I do my vacuuming. I have laundry set on certain days. It's just a way to delegate so that it's not so overwhelming, so that you're not doing it all at once. Reason number 2 for why you are feeling overwhelmed is you're trying to do too much at a time. So I know we're always trying to multitask, but my unpopular opinion is that multitasking is actually not something that we should try and do. The reason I think this is because it's proven that it takes about 23 minutes to refocus onto a task that you're working on after you've been distracted. And this is honestly super counterproductive. So in my opinion, trying to do 2, 3, 4, or 5 or more things, multiple things at once, is not the way to go about it. I think it's also incredibly important to set realistic expectations for yourself, which I am very guilty for. I know I keep saying I'm guilty for this, but honestly, I've been through these things, and that's why I can relate to you on this, is I would start my day with the, like I said, mile-long to-do list, expecting that I would get it all done. And then at the end of the day, when I only got 2 of the 23 things done, I would feel like a failure and I would be upset. So starting your day out with realistic expectations is really going to help you to not try and accomplish so much stuff, which is ultimately just setting you up for failure. So to just touch on the multitasking side of it a little bit more, instead what I want you to do is focus on one thing at a time. If you're planning on folding laundry, I want you to dedicate this time that you're going to fold the laundry to only doing that task. Try your best not to get distracted. Do not squirrel, like I like to call it, to go and do another thing. If you're going to fold laundry, then fold the laundry. If you're going to unload the dishwasher, then unload the dishwasher. Don't try to do multiple things at once, because it actually makes the tasks take twice as long, if not more. Before I move on to the third and final step, I wanted to have a quick pause here. If this episode is resonating with you, I would love it if you could take a screenshot and share it with a friend or post it to your social media. This simple action should only take you about 2 minutes, and it really helps get these practical tips to other women just like you who might need them too. And if you share it on Instagram, tag me at HerStableHome. I'd be thrilled to see it and connect with you. All right, let's get back into it. Number 3 is you're not prioritizing or structuring your time properly. Now, in the previous episode, part 1 of this series, I briefly talked about how women go through the 4 different phases in their cycle, and how there will be times where you want to hibernate and times when you're feeling super motivated. So this is important to keep in mind when you're thinking of taking on big tasks when you're feeling like you have low energy. When we think about priorities and prioritizing our day, something that I like to do when I'm starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed is I will take a look at the list that I've made for myself to do that day, and I'll just ask myself, okay, on this list of the things that are written here right in front of me, what are the things that absolutely need to get done today, and what are the tasks that can be saved for another day or another week? Breaking down your priorities in this way may seem very simple, but it also will make a very big impact in determining what is essential in your everyday to-dos and what doesn't need to be tackled right now and can be saved for another time. Another way that I like to make the most of the time that I have is time blocking. And I won't get into that too much because I would like to specifically dedicate episodes just to this topic alone. But having a young baby, like I have mentioned, I need to make the most of those nap times, those wake windows. And so I use those times to block different tasks of the day. And in doing so, it really helps me to stay on task and be mindful of what I'm doing in that time that I've been given. All right, friends, so that concludes our 3 reasons why you're feeling overwhelmed in today's part 2 of the Overcoming Overwhelm series. And to just remind you what those 3 points we went over today were, number 1 is not delegating your tasks. Number 2 is you're trying to do too much at a time. And number 3 is you're not prioritizing or structuring your time properly. So for your homework today, I want you to create a top 3 priority list for tomorrow's tasks. So what you're going to do is you're going to list out your tasks for tomorrow, but instead of going to accomplish all of those tasks, I want you to write down or circle the 3 most important tasks for tomorrow. Focus on completing just those 3 things, but if you get those 3 things done, then you can move on down the list. And what I want you to notice is how this impacts your productivity and gives you a sense of accomplishment. By sitting down and prioritizing this every single day when you're going about your day and planning out what you're going to do in that day, it's going to help eliminate that scattered and overwhelmed feeling so that you don't feel like you have to hide from the long to-do list or procrastinate from getting the chores done. So in summary, as we wrap up today's episode, what I want you to remember is that feeling stuck and unproductive often comes from trying to take on too much, struggling to delegate, and lacking a clear structure for your time. Small changes like determining your daily priorities or delegating different chores to different days will make a huge difference in overcoming that task overwhelm. These simple steps can help you feel more in control and energized in your everyday life. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I look so forward to tackling more of these challenges with you in the next episode, part 3 of this series. But until then, keep moving forward, one small step at a time. I'll see you next time. Before you go, if this podcast has encouraged or helped you in any way, the best way that you can show your support is by subscribing to the show and leaving a written 5-star review. Your words truly make my day and remind me why I love sharing here. You can also snap a screenshot of this episode and share it with a friend or post it to your Instagram stories. Make sure to tag me at Her Stable Home. Thanks so much for listening, friend. I will see you next time.